So I'm actually kind of supporting why grading A, B, C is sort of broken as we're working on in this building. We're really looking at that piece, and why the actual student engaged assessments, why the students scoring themselves on an assessment that was written clearly from a target. So prior to using a really clear target around prediction, I would have taught the unit in the way that I always do, and then given my standard grades, my A, B's, C's, this one got it, this one didn't, and move on. But this year, last year, based on a really clear target around I can make a prediction citing evidence to support my thinking, I had the students highlighting what was their evidence that proved their prediction, and whether it was the cover or whether it was something they saw in the character or the title, or they know that this author writes about that. And then I went in and looked in all their academic notebooks, and a 3 would have been a met. All the students scored themselves a 2 for having not yet met the target because they could not highlight their evidence for why they had made this prediction. So I was like, oh, clearly I did not teach them how to make predictions. And I would have thought, well, a couple of them got it. Oh, well, those others didn't. Move on. And because of this, I had to say to my 20-some students, I didn't teach you how to make a prediction because you all can't. So let's see what was missing. And then it turned out that we discovered as a group that they really didn't understand what evidence was and how to find it. And I thought that we'd gone over it, and I'm sure we'd gone over it, but they hadn't made that connection. So I went and retaught evidence, used another series of small, children's stories. Then we had a new anchor text, and then I had these students highlighting, and they were all at 3s. We had all met. But so that to me was sort of the big selling point for why this works. As a teacher, I got to see what I wasn't teaching. And the students then had this great, we own this now. The students know how committed you are to having them all reach the target. And then when they get to see it, when they are the ones who know I have to do this and I need to prove evidence and I've proven the evidence, it's not a teacher saying, you got it. It's I own it. And I can tell you, I can show you. It's the same with our own evaluation systems and our own work and what we do, teaching and parenting and relationship, versus you are good or, hey, I know I did this well. And I think the students, going back to your point, I think the students know that the teachers hold themselves accountable. For me to be able to say to a group of 6th graders, I didn't teach you anything. Clearly, I didn't. Well, it must have been so powerful for them. She what? Said, I've thought all along I did, but I didn't because you all got 2s. Right. So how do we get ourselves to 3s? Let's get back to the drawing board together. Right, so we're owning it as a group. Yes. And, certainly there are times where I still can show you, over here I can show you groups that I've got kids who are at 2 and 3, and I have moved on, and here I am saying, you guys, you need to come back, and maybe you're going to do we'll do a verbal assessment this afternoon. So it's a lot of work in keeping track of that, and it's different than just being able to put the C and be done. I can't do that anymore if the system's gonna work. If you're moving a student on to 9th grade and their grade is a reflection of their effort, but not the content or not what they've learned, you're not doing anyone their favor, right? Yeah. So with this comes a whole remediation piece. And how are we restructuring our teaching to allow for more remediation if you're not meeting the targets? This is what our school has been working. This is the text that our entire building. This is our next step. This is our learning curve as a staff. This is where we're going.